Okay, so welcome to Math 140, Discrete Structures, aka Discrete Math. This is a class where you're going to learn symbolic logic and how to apply that symbolic logic to basically understanding um, the structures behind coding. And if you have a batch of data, how to use certain logic gates and figure out how that batch of logic is going to create the end result that you want. So we're really just kind of training your brain to think logically and using math and logic to do that, so that when you write your code, it comes out logically and performs the way that you want it to, with the correct result. So once again, I'm Professor Holtman. Uh, I best method of contact for me is Pronto. Pronto is down here. I will um, go through my email at least once a day. I don't check my email on Saturdays, so don't expect a response from me on Saturdays. But I do leave my Pronto app open 24/7. So the best way to get a hold of me is through Pronto, which is down here. And I did send a Pronto message to uh, the class. Pronto is an app that you can download on your phone, or you can use it right through Canvas. When you sign up for the Pronto app, it's going to ask you for your email address. That's the email address that Canvas uses. So whether that's a personal email or a student email, just know that it has to be the same email that Canvas is using in order to sync it with our class. Once it's synced, you can use the Pronto app to contact me directly. So if I wanted to contact you directly, what are the people? What are the people? I should know how to do this. Okay, direct message. I can direct message people in the class, but how do we do? Oh, wait a second. Here it is. That's a recent. Here we go. I go to here, and then I want to DM people. Direct messages. Those are past messages, not present messages. I do know how to do this. Again, I use my phone a lot more of the time, but there should be a. I'll figure it out. I'll get back to you. But anyway, Pronto is the best way to get a hold of me. Um, it is the one that I use the most. Uh, so yeah. Um, my phone number is here. This is my mobile phone. Text only. I do not accept calls from strangers. Stranger danger. And but if you do have an emergency, um, you can text me. Okay. Email is right there. I will check my email at least once a day and then get back to you. So I usually have, less than a 24-hour turnaround on emails. Get rid of this thing real quick. Okay, I've been teaching mathematics for 20 years now. 11 years I taught middle school and high school math classes at Simi Valley in Paris, California. After attaining an MS in mathematics from Cal State San Marcos, in 2015, I began my college career at Cerritos and Santa Ana colleges. So that's a little bit about me. Okay, let's get into the syllabus. Okay. We already went through instructor information. Office hours, there is none specifically scheduled for summer, but by request if needed. Okay. Um, Again, Pronto is the best way to get a hold of me if you need help. If you need specific help, you can, if you have a question on a homework problem or something in the class, you can Pronto me directly, or you can Pronto the entire class. And then, that will encourage others to maybe help, you know, field some questions if they understood how to do number two on the homework, and you know and you didn't, then they could say, oh well, here's how I did that problem. So you can I'm expecting us to use Pronto extensively. um and then sometimes I will sit down and write out a solution to a homework problem, if there's a bunch of people that are getting stuck, as well. And I'll take a picture of that and then post it up on Pronto. Okay. Okay. This course presents the fundamentals of discrete mathematics as applied to computer sciences. Topics include logic, sets, definitions and proofs, functions, sequences and summations, induction and recursion, and computation. Successful students will apply discrete mathematics concepts and techniques to solve problems. Develop problem-solving skills employing pattern recognition, transfer of learning, and the ability to evaluate choices among solution techniques. Required preparation: 4 years of high school mathematics, at least generally algebra 2 or college algebra. Computer science and computer science math are rigorous mathematics, and so it's expected that you understand through logarithms and exponentials. I would recommend having taken pre-calculus or currently taking calculus is also beneficial. Okay, I know that as a computer science major, many of you are probably beyond that, but it's just the prereq. Okay, textbook is Zybooks. We're going to be using Zybooks in this class. In order how to get into Zybooks, you would have to click on the first reading assignment and then sign up. I believe it's $64 for the subscription and I think that gives you this book, access to this book indefinitely. So it's not a rental. You're actually purchasing access to the book indefinitely for that $64. Okay, it's not a physical book, it is an interactive book. So yeah, thank you, Lauren. Yeah, you get to keep the PDF of the book you buy. Exactly. Okay. Let's go to assignments real quick. Or actually, we'll just go to the module because the module has all of the assignments in it. Okay, so for the first week, you're going to be clicking on this logic reading 1.13, and then you're going to sign up and you're going to pay for the book. Okay, so I've already paid for my book, and so it just goes directly to Zybooks. Okay, and this is an interactive textbook. So you're going to take notes, right? And, and I run 2 different screens and a Surface. Okay, so right now I'm running 3 different screens. And so part of the course is going to be for you to work with this interactive text, and you can do that as we take notes. We'll take notes, and then you'll have time in class. I'll give you in between sections, maybe 20 minutes, in between sections, and you can just kind of, go through the interactive text and work through it. But some of the stuff is that I'm gonna do is gonna come right out of the the Zybook. So maybe, you know, I'll use these participation activities as part of my examples, and you'll be like, oh, well, now I know that, you know, 10 is a prime number. Is that a proposition or is that not a proposition, right? And it's like, well, we don't know that yet because we haven't got the material, but I'm just gonna say, oh, it's a proposition. Sure, correct. Okay, and so I may go over this exact problem. And so what I would suggest is you have your Zybook open, you know, on your computer at the same time that we're going through notes, because then you can just kind of like go back and forth. If you run two or three different screens, you can you can have one screen where you're watching me and my notes, you're taking notes along as well. And then on the other screen, you can have your Zybook open and you can say, okay, yeah, he just went over that one. That's that one. And I just went over this one. That's this one. 10% of your grade is going to be based on you interacting with this Zybook. So that's basically your participation grade is, have I read am I going through the notes? Am I interacting with the Zybook? Zybooks tells me that you have interacted with the text, and that populates 10% of your grade. Okay, so we'll be going through this. The homework will come directly out of the Zybook as well. Okay, however, these are written exercises. Okay, so I'll say, okay, do exercise 1, 2, and 3, right? And it'll be like, okay, well, this is, you know, 1.11, and then this is 1.12, and this is 1.13. So on a piece of paper, you're gonna write out your solutions and then upload that. Okay, so as we go through our modules, you'll see, oh, okay, there's a logic homework problem is 1.1 to 1.3. I'm sorry, not being a very good host here. People are texting me in the chat, and so I need to make sure that I can see your chat. Okay, let me move that over there. There we go. Okay. Okay, in regards to Zybooks, when purchasing, ask for the class section. However, I do not see our class selection, only the 22706. Has anyone encountered? Okay, so the class section. Let's look at the class section here. What is the class section? That would be, that would be in the Zybooks, right? So do you want us to label what section the homework are? I.e. 1.11, homework 1.1. Yeah, you're gonna, I'll go over that in a second, but you're gonna want to put these in sequential order. Yes, absolutely. You can submit via paper and then scan, or you can do it electronically on an iPad or a Surface or anything like that, and then just upload the PDF. It must be PDF format for the homework. Okay, and I'll go over that in a second. But what are we doing? So it asks you for a section number. It shouldn't ask you because it's through the LMS. So it should just be directly through the LMS. Make sure that you're clicking on the logic reading 1.1.3. So the class section, I mean, which is listed on Canvas for this course, which is, oh, 49531. Yes, okay, perfect. Okay, so it is the course section. it's on Canvas right here at the top, 49531. That is the course section. Okay, well, hopefully that helps. Both, Alex. Your homework is graded both on completeness and on accuracy. So, if there are 3 problems, then each of those problems is worth 10 points, and then it's a 10% scale. So, think about like, okay, if you got half the problem right, then you're going to get half the points. You would get a 5 out of 10 if you got, and so if you have a bunch of stuff, but it's, you attempt it, I might give you a 3 out of 10. I would give you partial credit for the attempt, but then there is credit for the accuracy. So just FYI. Okay, you can't just write down, BS and then expect to get full credit. So okay. Yeah. So for our first homework assignments and reading assignment is due this Friday. And if it's due on a Friday, it's due at midnight. If it's due on a Tuesday, it's due before 6 o'clock on Tuesday. Okay. So if you look at I don't know if it tells you, mine is a little different than yours, so I'm going to go to the student view, but it says, look, this is due by Friday by 11:59 p.m. Okay, whereas if I go back to the logic, the next one is due on June 25th. Okay, and that one is due by 6 p.m. by if it's over a weekend, it's due by 6 p.m. of the following class. If it's due during the week, it's due by midnight. Exactly, Andrew. Okay, if we submit early, will there be a chance to get feedback in the event that something is inaccurately? No, unfortunately, that is not the case. You want to get your feedback, prior to that. Okay, you can ask questions, certainly. I wouldn't anticipate, asking questions on every single problem, so that, that's going to be kind of a pain, but, certainly what you don't want to do is cheat yourself out of an education. Okay, and I'll talk more about that later. This is,
Professor?
yeah.
I'm so sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, no worries.
I'm trying to get the Zybook, and when I went to the link after going from Canvas page, it says that for let's say if you're buying the Zybook class section, it's written a different class section we have. It says 22607 instead of our class section number.
Oh, really?
Does it matter if it's this number? I can share my screen if you want to see.
Sure.
Okay. I saw someone else in the Zoom. I think it was Ryder. He also had the same problem.
Have the same
Sorry to
problem?
call you out, Ryder. Yeah, sorry to call you out, Ryder. There's
No,
the same
no
problem.
worries.
Here we go. Let me try sharing. I'm not sure if this is a problem or not, but we will see. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, go ahead.
If you go into the class section right
Right.
here, I'll move this. It says 22607, which I don't think
That's
is our
fine.
class section number. That's fine, it
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
that should be
Okay,
the same one. So
got it.
there's
Okay,
only one section right now, so
okay.
so yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, there's only one class section for the summer that I'm teaching.
Mhm.
So normally it would populate, multiple sections, and then I'd have to figure out which one it is, but there's only one for the summer.
Okay, got it. So I guess I'll just put that one in. Thank you.
This
I'm
is
gonna
the
stop
correct,
sharing now.
yeah, this is the correct book.
Got it. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Just making sure. Thank you. I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm gonna
Yeah.
stop sharing so that
This,
you guys don't need
this,
my
this,
card number.
no, that's fine. This particular book has been customized for Santa Ana students.
Got it. Okay.
So that's how I know that it is my book.
Got it. Okay. Thank you so much.
Sure. Okay, perfect. Okay. Let me go back to sharing my screen. And we're good. Okay. So yeah, so let's get into the syllabus. I don't want to cover everything. Materials needed, you'll need to have access to a webcam and microphone. I won't require you be on the webcam the entire course, but you will need to make sure you have a webcam for the exams. Okay, and that's just for me to verify that it is you that is taking the exam and not, you know, someone else in the room. And we'll use Proctorio in here, and we'll talk more about that as the exam dates come forward. Okay, this is to facilitate your participation and for our exams. You may make arrangements to use Academic Computing Center or the Academic Summer to take the exams if you need to. You will also want at least a scientific calculator. The TI-36X is recommended, although a graphing one might come in handy, like the TI-84, but it is not required. Website for all assignments, tests, and other helpful information. We'll be using Canvas at instructure.com. Your login is your self-service login name and password. Drop policy. You must attend the first day of class. That's today. To remain in the course. Failure to complete at least 10% of the course assignments can result in me dropping you from the course. This is so that we reduce the risk of you getting a poor grade when you should have dropped the course. I will email you before dropping to ensure that there are not extenuating circumstances. Drop deadline, dropping without a W is June 23rd. Dropping with a W is July 28th. How do I get the most learning out of this course? I find discrete mathematics to be enlightening, fun, and incredibly useful for doing computer science. My courses are always in process, and so I am always learning new ways to teach and coach discrete math and to help you learn it. If you act like you want to learn discrete mathematics and work towards truly understanding everything that I will expose you to in this class, this will benefit you greatly and begin you on a journey toward a really rewarding field. So ask questions, spend time thinking through the practice problems, which is the homework, before looking at the solutions, and have conversations with your classmates and me. Get into it. It's worth getting into. I have gained so much just by teaching this course. I hope I can give you a taste of that. I want you to do well. I want you to achieve your goals. I want you to become great programmers, computer scientists, and computer engineers. Okay, great. Grading breakdown is the reading is 10%. Practice problems is 25%. That's the homework. And the quizzes and exams is 25%. So 35% of your grade is based on kind of what you do, and 65 is based on what you know. Grading is a typical grading scale for your final grade. Attendance is for every course meeting of the course is required. However, you are permitted 2 absences. Upon the 3rd absence, you may be dropped from the course. Especially since they're 3 hours long. Okay, at 2 absences, I'm gonna be like, are you coming back? And you're not allowed a 3rd. And so if there are extenuating circumstances, please contact me via email, pronto, or text message before the absence to let me know the particular circumstances. Work or family obligations do not constitute as emergencies. Reading assignments. Reading assignment due dates are in Canvas. iBooks can be accessed via Canvas in the modules. Late reading assignments are allowed, although it is wise to keep up with the work and to prepare for our classroom times. The dates when the assignments close are the final dates that assignments can be completed for a score. The close dates of the readings are the last dates by which you can get credit for the readings. However, you have access to the readings at any time. Quizzes and homework problems. Due dates for written are assigned. Homework problems will be graded based upon selected problems and completion. Written assignments are graded based upon answers and the work that is completed. Answers without work will not be graded unless the question requires no work to be shown. Proofs and explanations must be in complete sentences. They need to be, I'm going to highlight this, they need to be in the form demonstrated in class and in the readings. Forms used that are outside the scope of the course are deemed academic dishonesty. Okay, so if you send me something and you're like, oh, this is how I did this, and I'm like, yeah, how'd you figure that out? And you're like, oh, well, I just stole it off of, some other source. I'm gonna be like, well, you don't get any credit for that, and that's a check mark toward academic dishonesty and no longer being a part of the course. So please don't do that. Do your own work. School is not about getting a degree. It's about learning so that you can actually get a job. Okay, and if you want to be a computer programmer, computer scientist, or computer engineer, or whatever you want to do, you need to learn, the material that's going to make you the best possible, employee or business owner or freelancer that you can possibly be. So again, please do not cheat yourself out of an education. Okay, there will be 3 exams in this course. Dates for the exams are in the calendar in the syllabus. There are no makeup exams, makeups for any exam. Okay, again, please, if there are extenuating circumstances, please let me know before the exam, not after. Okay, communication policy, Sunday through Friday, I check my email at least once a day. I do not plan for me to respond on Saturdays. Pronto in Canvas or on the Pronto app is the best way to get a hold of me outside of class lecture hours. If you do have math questions, please ask in Canvas on Pronto. Please post to the general class. Your fellow classmates may have similar questions and you can contribute to them in Pronto as well in Pronto. I will post responses to your questions to the class in Pronto. However, you can also Pronto me separately if there are questions that you have that are just pertaining to you, you individually. Office hours are not held regularly. However, you can use Pronto email or text in urgent cases to discuss specific issues with me or problems you are having. If needed, I can also schedule a one-on-one Zoom with you to discuss an issue. Please keep an open line of communication with me. If you need something from the course, I am happy to respond within the guidelines of my communication policies. Honesty policy. Basically, the whole thing right here just says don't cheat. Okay, it says students are expected to display the utmost integrity. If a question arises during an assessment, you can chat with the instructor or you can send an email if you are doing a proctored exam. I always give students the benefit of the doubt. There is absolutely no tolerance for cheating in this class. Each assignment has specific guidelines for maintaining the academic integrity of the assignment. Moving outside of those bounds is a cause for 0 on the assignment. Multiple instances of academic dishonesty result in the beginning proceedings of expulsion from the class and possibly the school. The purpose of the class is to learn discrete mathematics and expand your abilities as a computer scientist, programmer, and mathematician. Discrete mathematics forms the foundation of programming and is a key component in work in the computer science and software programming field. This requires work, and the work is the only way to improve your skills. Not maintaining academic integrity will lead you to losing opportunities to expand your knowledge. You get out what you put into the class. Special needs, any student with disabilities who would like to request an academic accommodation is responsible for identifying himself, herself to the instructor, or themselves, I should say, to the disabled students program to make arrangements for accommodations, contact the physical disability center in the Johnson Center. Okay, it is student's responsibility to inform the instructor in a timely manner. If you have a letter of accommodation, I am happy to fill them. I would recommend you get your accommodation letter early. I cannot give accommodations without letter of accommodation. This is the law and I have to obey it. We have a tentative schedule over the next 8 weeks of our lives that we're going to follow. Okay, today we're going to cover 1.1 through 1.3. Okay, Thursday 1.4 to 1.7. Our first exam is on the 2nd, and then we have a holiday. So the only thing we have going on in week 3 is an exam and a holiday, which is kind of nice. Okay, chapter 1 is a biggie. It's the biggest chapter in the book, and it covers all of logic. So the first 2 weeks is all logic, and then you have an exam, and that's the first 3 weeks of class. And then we go into sets for chapter 2. Chapter 3 is proofs. Chapter 4 is functions. And chapter 5 is inference and induction, mathematical induction and inference. And chapter 6 is computation. Okay, we only do a tiny bit of chapter 6, just 3 sections. And that's the course. The homework assignment schedule is part of the syllabus. I also put it as a separate tab in the module under the course information. Here are all the homework assignments out of zyBooks. You can feel free to work ahead if you want to. Okay, but here are the due dates. Again, if the due date is on a Friday, it's midnight. If the due date is on a Tuesday, it's 6 p.m. Okay, and so I've loaded that there. The homework, let me get out of the syllabus for a second. The homework, let me get out of the student view as well. Who is that good looking man? I don't know. Okay, sorry. Okay, let's go to the module. Let's look at the homework. And which chapter do you find the students have the hardest with? Proofs, probably proofs, honestly. And do you recommend completing readings, homework assignments prior to Zoom meetings? Yeah, I recommend it. Doesn't mean you have to do it. So, I honestly don't think you'll need to do the readings homework assignment prior to. Honestly, I think that the pacing of the class is such that that you don't have to do it beforehand. Okay, I'm not one of those where, you know, I want to walk with you on this and not say, well, do all of this beforehand, and then we're gonna, you know, spend 3 hours kind of looking at each other. And no, I want to be integrated in your learning. I really don't think you need to do the readings beforehand. I think that would be overkill at this point. Okay, so I mean, if you did the readings and you did the homework beforehand, you'd kind of be bored in class, I think. So I want you to make the most out of your time here, and you know, make the most out of your time outside as well. You know, and I know that a lot of students, you know, that go into math and computer science, they're self-starters and they're self-learners, and you know, I get that as well. I was one of those myself. So yeah, so let's go into the homework for the first one. So through the modules, you'll see these supplemental logic videos. My colleague, Dr. Sweeney, has made these kind of short little videos of review. So there's these short little videos of review. They're like 5-10 minutes long of reviewing, you know, certain types of of um of of examples in the material, and so I uploaded his his videos. He has a YouTube channel as well. He has a lot more subs than me because he's a lot more handsome than I am. So but he's been doing this a long time as well. And so we kind of help each other out, and you know, he makes some things, I make some things, and vice versa. So let's go back to attendance. What you want to know is how do you submit attendance? That's what you want to know. So how do you submit attendance? Well, or sorry, not attendance. How do you submit your homework? So the first homework is this logic homework problems. Okay, and here's the homework that you'd be working on: 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. Okay, so for 1.1, it's problem 1, A through F, and then 2 and 3. For section 1.2, it's 2, 3, 4, A, D, 5, A, B, E, and 7. Okay, and then 1 through 3, it's 1, 2A, and so forth. Okay, this one, the assignment is worth 30 points. Okay, and there will be a file, and it will be file upload, and you'll be submitting that as a PDF. Okay, those are your worked out solutions. Okay, what will it look like to you? It will look like this. Okay, and it will say upload, choose your submission type. Upload is what you want. I'm going to upload this, and then it's going to require that I do a PDF. The only file that is allowed is a PDF. Okay. Okay. We covered the syllabus. We covered the homework. I think we're good at this point. We covered the book. We covered, I think, everything else. And yeah, there are other things in the course information, just how to contact me, homework schedule, textbook information, different things that you would want, how to customize your campus settings and whatever. But this should get you through the first 2 weeks, this first module, you know, and then we're gonna have an exam and an exam study guide and everything else. So yeah. Okay. So I think that's all the time I want to spend on that, because you know, it's been an hour. Yeah, let me go back. I want to leave student view. Okay, and I'm going to